Hey everyone, this is NinUser12 here, and in today's video we will be diving into the phenomena and significance of egregores, and the concept behind the idea of what I have come to know as manifestation theory. Before continuing further in this video, I need you guys to know that the concept of egregores and manifestation theory are of a supernatural and occult nature. When I say of an occult nature, I'm simply saying that it is of a hidden nature that would not otherwise be discussed in the midst of public masses or on TV. But after consulting with others, it has been made clear to me that these concepts need to be expressed so we can have a new perspective on the underlying questions of certain phenomena pertaining to our existence. Even if this video only gets 20 views, it will still be enough for the purposes of Ninway Productions and the creator, editor, and owner of this channel, NinUser12.
To give you a quick rundown of what an egregore is, essentially an egregore can be described as a psychically charged thought form, or even the invocation of an already pre-existing autonomous astral being associated with a certain concept or persona that has been energetically fueled by the collective beliefs and ideals continuously expressed by a small or large group of people. This means that regardless of your personal beliefs, powerful egregores associated with all the world's main religions, including others, have a very real and powerful influence on the physical and non-physical worlds that we exist in and inhabit here as human beings, fueled by the beliefs of those who believe in it.
So if you do a quick lookup on Google of what an egregore actually is, you will find that the Google definition of an egregore is a concept in Western esotericism of a non-physical entity or thought form that arises from the collective thoughts and emotions of a distinct group of individuals.
There's a wonderful book going into detail on egregores written and authored by a man named Mark Stavish, and this is what he has to say on the topic. Quote, "There is an occult concept of the egregore, a term derived from the Greek word for watcher. It is used for an immaterial entity that watches or presides over some earthly affair or collectivity. The important point is that an egregore is augmented by human belief, ritual, and especially by sacrifice. If it is sufficiently nourished by such energies, the egregore can take on a life of its own and appear to be an independent personal divinity with a limited power on behalf of its devotees and an unlimited appetite for further devotion. It is then believed to be an immortal god or goddess, an angel, or a deity."
Also important to remember that egregores are not simply delegated to religious figures or religious ideologies. Egregores permeate all of culture and media, so that means that they also include everyday mundane things such as your favorite sports team, specific food brands that you get when you go to the market, and even your favorite superhero characters from your favorite TV shows. Egregores is a concept that influences all of us regardless of your religious views. And that is why it is so important for you guys to get a deep understanding of what we are talking about in today's video. In Mark Stavish's book, he describes how egregore comes to be. Quote, "Imagine that an intelligent and well-disposed man who is able to concentrate is thinking about a good idea, giving it a certain form. He may then find others who have the same or similar ideas. And so a circle of men may come into being who are all thinking along the same lines, but in a different form. It is as if every one of them is repeating the drawing of a plan, placing a pencil again and again on the same contours. The thing grows in strength, develops an astrosome, and becomes an egregore, or a collective entity." Now that we understand the concept of an egregore as essentially being something that's manifested through the collective thoughts and beliefs of a group of people, this is a very powerful thing to consider, because for those individuals who would normally scoff at the idea of ritual magic or manifesting money rituals or things of that nature having any type of real effect. For people who would normally scoff at those ideas, the concept of an egregore can kind of open their, if it is a real psychological phenomenon, then that would basically open up the minds of skeptics all around the world who would normally dismiss the idea of things like ritual magic or sorcery or psychic abilities or things of that nature, because if this is a real psychological phenomenon, then that would essentially mean that this completely revolutionizes our understanding of the occult and of supernatural entities, of, angels, demons, everything, because essentially gods, all of it. Because if there's a group of people who are Christians, for example, and they truly believe that these different deities exist, like Archangel Gabriel and all this other stuff, and they say, for example, perform a ritual to invoke the Archangel Gabriel's protection, and there's a whole book called the Bible, and there have been people who have lived for hundreds and thousands of years who have subscribed to that religion and have fed it their psychical and mental energies, and have literally died with those beliefs, and then imparted those beliefs to their offspring for literally hundreds and thousands of years. I feel like that completely revolutionizes our understanding of religion and the power of magic or sorcery, if you want to call it that, because that essentially means that if you can get enough like-minded people, even if you didn't have the power to manifest it yourself, it can actually become an objective thing when that many people put their mental thought power into it. So, you might be asking, how does one free oneself from the influence of an egregore, whether consciously or unconsciously associated with it? And this is what Mark Stavish has to say about that. Quote, to leave the influence of an egregore, we need to limit our connection and contact with the members, rituals, symbols, and activities of the egregore and its material anchors to the group. This may be a simple matter like stop paying dues, stop attending meetings, stop reading the organizational literature, or other things of that nature. Also important to note is that organizations such as social and business clubs will have a weaker group mind than a religion. Typically, some would say that if you want to leave, it would be best to just remove yourself entirely from anything associated with the egregorial influence. And also, another important thing to note is that emotional connections are typically the strongest form of what ties an individual to an egregore. So, that means that as other priorities come up in your life, whether that be financial priorities, family priorities, personal priorities, or anything in between, once other priorities form a necessity of importance over whatever egregorial influence you were previously attached to, typically that is the easiest way to detach from the influence of an egregore, by simply prioritizing your mental and emotional focus on other aspects of your life. So, to sum up what I said, if you want to escape the grasp and influence of an egregore, it really is as simple as out of sight, out of mind, and out of mind, out of connection.
Egregores were created to protect city-states, the republic, and the empire. As long as people offered devotion and sacrifices, the city or empire was believed to thrive. However, if worship shifted to new cults, the egregores' support would wane, leading to decline. Godwin suggests this shift in worship contributed to the fall of the Roman Empire. As Romans embraced new religions, offering personal salvation and afterlife, the energy supporting the traditional gods and egregores faded. The spiritual shift weakened Rome, as the old gods were no longer sustained, leading to the empire's downfall. As Godwin says, I am suggesting that the rise and fall of nations is intimately bound up with their relations with their gods, and that these are real entities, even though they are not the eternal, all-powerful beings they are reputed to be.
If today's video topic interests you and you would like to know more on the topic, I have left links in the description to Mark Stavish's book on egregores and an exclusive interview he had done detailing more on the topic. Thank you all for watching and take care.